Guys, Brick Break here. It is currently 11:07 at night, and my last storytime animation is popping off. So I'd like to thank everybody who watched that one, and I'll remind you, watch that one and the Boy Scout one. So yeah, on with the story. Basically, a long time ago, I think it was my second storytime animation ever, which isn't saying much because I have four, but two out of the four were like yesterday, and another two out of the four were like months and months ago. So I made a very bad animated video about the worst injury that ever happened to me. So now I'm gonna reuse one of the stories from that, but also take in 3 times that I almost died. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, these stories are super overly embellished. I only actually died one time, and that was the first time in chronological order. So, because that would make the video boring, and because I want audience retention, we're gonna go in opposite chronological order, because yes, this story happened, I think, maybe 2 years ago. Me and my family were hanging out at Michigan Adventures, one of Michigan's most spectacular theme parks, unless you count Cedar Point, in which case I'll remind you that that is in Ohio. I made that mistake for like 5 years as a kid. But anyways, there was this roller coaster called Shivering Timbers, which my body, it's not really used to roller coasters because I barely go on anything. Normally the most intense rides I go on are like carousels. But basically, when we were going on the huge ups and downs, my back was like, Bravo 6 going dark. And basically, my back was like, kind of went 0G for a second, and my back decided it was going to give me a brief free trial of scoliosis, and it was not fun. And the almost died part, that's just so I can get a catchy thumbnail. I did not almost die this time, nor did I the next time, which happens to be... So a funny story, I had an audio file for this part, but I accidentally deleted it, so instead of going back and fixing my mistakes, I'm just going to read a story I made in 3rd grade called The Bike Incident. As we sped down the hill, rocks and leaves crunching our tires, the autumn wind howling in our ears, we turned on street named Street, getting ready to cross the first stone bridge. Charles was about 20 feet ahead of me, and Lincoln was close behind him. Mitch was only a few feet in front of me, and we turned the corner. The red gate of the beach was so tantalizingly close. So soon I would be the loser of the race. If I was going down, I was going down with the fight. My pride was my downfall. It was like a movie scene. Mitch, what was the enemy's ship? I was so close I could hear his wheels crunching in the dirt of the winding path. We were on the last turn of the winding road of the beach. I turned my bike in front of Michael, doing the most cutthroat thing I could do. We collided. I flew into Michael. My face hit the concrete, and our spokes connected, sending our bikes down into a ditch. Michael got out of it unscathed, but when I came out, my face looked like a kindergartner had taken a red pencil and scribbled all over it. So yes, this also isn't a story where I almost died, but come on, man, it's a clickbait thumbnail, get used to it. But I promise, in the next one, I actually almost die. Editor's note, this also happened on Rosh Hashanah, which I do celebrate because my stepmom's Jewish. So happy belated Hanukkah, everybody. And Happy New Year and Christmas and Kwanzaa and all those other good things. So yeah. Alright, now we're on to the big stuff. The time that I actually almost died. But also not really, because, my life's not very interesting, guys. I had to scrounge around for video ideas for like a day and a half trying to come up with this. So anyways, I played Pee-wee soccer as a kid. It was fun, I guess, but I mean, I play soccer to this day. It's a lot more fun now, but back in the day, I I was a pretty good player, unlike now where I'm kind of mediocre. So after our astonishing defeat against other team, we were walking back home from the park because I lived like less than a 5-minute walk away. But one part we had to do was we had to cross a main road, and I was maybe 6 or 7 at the time. And for a 6 or 7 year old, I was very dumb. So I was skipping along, enjoying myself when we got to the main road, and I was still skipping along, and this car, I remember it to this day, chasing me down in my nightmares on its brutal crusade. It's like the Grim Reaper himself was driving it. I was hanging on the side of life and death, on the fence and whether I'd perish. It was awful, scary, horrible. Basically, I skipped basically into the road almost, and my dad had to pull me by the back of my shirt, and I was fine, and I sustained less injury than the last two, because the last two, for the first one, I had to like get my back cracked a lot for a couple of days, and then the second one probably just hurt a lot, and then just sort of healed on its own. So yeah, I sustained no injury here, except for the emotional scars. So anyways, guys, due to the success of these more recent videos, I'm thinking about becoming more of an animation channel than a Lego channel. And if you guys are for that, I'm all for that, because this is way more fun and enjoyable. So yeah, Brick Breakout. Sub to me, and see you later.